Did you just buy a Mafia FTG and you're not sure what tools you need to build it up? Well, you're in luck, because today we're going to do an unboxing and I'm going to show you how to build up your very own Mafia FTG BMX bike. So in all our videos, we show you all the tools, we show you how to open the box, we show you how to build up the bike, and we show you all the tricks and tips that bike shops and the pros use to build up their bikes fast and I would say designed towards your riding. As an avid rider, you tend to set up your bike a certain way, and I'm going to show you how to set up your bike so you can go out there, ride, do wheelies, have a good time. So first off, you're definitely going to need a set of wire cutters. You're definitely going to need a utility knife like so. You're also going to possibly need a screwdriver, not sure yet, but good to have. You're also going to need hex head or Allen wrenches. They could come on this tool or another multi-tool that has maybe a pedal wrench, because you're definitely going to need a pedal wrench. You might need a socket, extension, and ratchet, and then you might need an adjustable wrench, as well as one way to air up your tires. So yeah, let's get to it. I'm going to show you how to open up this box. What I like to do is I like to do it this way. It's a little bit funner. It's been fun lately. So we're going to go ahead and do it this way. You can open it up the normal way from the top like so and pull out the bike. But this one looks a lot cooler. It kind of shows the bike off, and our viewers can see kind of how the bike comes all together, and it just looks cool. So we're gonna cut all this. Actually, I gotta cut a little bit higher, because these guys got a pretty heavy duty protective foam. I don't know a foam, I think it's a cardboard on the bottom. It's like double layered. So that cuts through real easy right there. But your bike's gonna come. Whoa. Let's see, get that out of the way. Get that out of the way. Oh, we might have to go through another layer. Another layer, let's see. Try not to slice the bike. Okay. It's the other one. There it is. Boom. There's your Mafia FTG in there. It's gonna come packaged inside like so. Got a couple little things. We're gonna try to throw these in the trash as they kind of fall out, but that's how your bike will arrive. Make sure to take off the seat like so. We're gonna pull the bike out. Set it on the ground. We got another box right here with other stuff in it as well. That's all of it. Let me see if I can get rid of this boxed up. Jeez. Nope, I guess I couldn't do that without knocking a bunch of stuff down. Alright, so next we're gonna put in the stand. This is how your bike's gonna show up. It's got both the wheels off, and yeah, it's pretty tightly packaged. It's pretty nicely packaged where it doesn't get scratched or anything like that. So I'm gonna put up against here and check the camera, make sure that you guys can see everything. Oh yeah, it's a little hard to see, so let's lower the camera so you guys can see. Alright. So first off, you're going to have a bunch of stuff. You're going to want to cut it all. But before you cut it off, you have a bike stand. Just in general, rule of thumb, we like to put the seat on first. We're going to put the seat on and throw it in the stand. So try to pull this up so you can see it. So you want to put a little bit of grease on here. We're not going to do that because we don't want grease everywhere while we're filming this video and get on our hands and touch the camera and all that stuff. And grab a rag and blah, blah, blah. Just from doing all these videos, it made us realize that not putting grease on our hands helps us out a lot because we're touching stuff. We're trying to move fast, show you what you guys need to know, and not spend as much time cleaning our hands. So first off, there's a few packaging. I just took that one off because it was kind of annoying me. But we like to go from the front to the back and just kind of work our way there so we don't forget where we're at and miss a bolt. So you're gonna cut all these zip ties off. Get the wheels off. Pull these caps off. Got some of this stuff off. Alright, so this is the rear wheel. So we're gonna set it aside. We've got the front wheel over here. See, there's another zip tie up here. Zip tie over here. Saying zip tied crazy. So now take off this. Another disc here. Got the other wheel. We're gonna lean it up against here. Now we got the handlebars. Here's the handlebars. We're gonna take off this foam. Take it off here. Unbag this. And boom. All right, now we're gonna start taking off all the packaging. Got this packaging. If you want to know if these stickers are removable, check out our explain and review video. We will tell you if these stickers are removable a lot. We get a lot of people asking us, and yeah, we got the answer for you. So yeah, oh, this is a little bit new. This didn't come on the other models, but it has this little plastic protective. Should probably mess up the exposure. But that's cool, probably saves it down too from scratching. Riders probably like that so that they get a nice crispy bike when they pull it out the box. So, lots of packaging, lots of packaging. All right, so now we're gonna teach you how to do the stem. I'm gonna try to set this up so you can see it very easily, and maybe it helps, I'm not sure, but shoot, we're gonna try it. We got a bunch of other videos that have it a different way, so if you want to see how to build up a bike that way, check out those videos. But this one's a little bit different. I've been trying to film these videos, but long story short, we got caught up yesterday and didn't get everything done, and I wasn't able to film one of these videos, so we're doing it now. So I'm loosening up these bolts. See, now this bolt is stuck in there. I tightened it back up and then rocked it a little bit and was able to remove it from the head. It's kind of tight, so it gets stuck in there. See how they're all getting stuck? Yeah, it's a pretty tight tolerance. What you're gonna do is you're gonna back them all the way out so you can pull the bolts out just like so. And then you can set this on the side somewhere. Grab your bars. You want to make sure the cable is on this side of the handlebar, the frame, and you just want a slight little curve like so. But don't put your bars on like this and tighten it up all like that. That's how the restarted people, do this. What you want to do is you want to lean it down like so, and then place it on top and tighten them down, but don't tighten it all the way down. You want to keep it pretty close to loose so that you can get the bars where you want, and then tighten it back down, and then that should be pretty close to where you need it. So watch this. So tighten them up. Use a knurling, this little grooves, to mark or kind of eye up and keep the bars in the center. And then it's pretty close, like I said, but see how it doesn't fit? This is why I say to do it this way, because a lot of people will be wrestling with the bars up like this, trying to put the cap on and everything, and then they go to put the wrench in and it doesn't even fit. So this way it's pretty close. And all you got to do is snug up one of the bolts. Now the bars are pretty much locked in. So next, what you want to do is you want to set up the handlebars. With the handlebars straight, forks like so, straight. I would say that most old heads will run taller bars, and usually they'll run them straight with the forks, if not pushed a little bit forward. But most of the guys that are buying these bikes, they're buying these to do wheelies and swerve and stuff like that. So most of the riders are usually going to have the bars rocked back just a little bit, maybe a little bit more. But that's usually what you want, so that your knees can get through here, and it gives you a little bit more, let's say, like power when you're turning, because the bars are a little bit farther into your lap. But general rule of thumb, if you're doing wheelies and you want to swerve, your bar should be slightly back. We call this kind of roller coaster. We're trying to change the name to Sean Butler, but I'm not sure if that's going to stick. And then if you do it way far forward, then we're trying to call it Dan Kruk. Maybe it gets shorter, like maybe DK or something like that. But also on the cap right here, you want to keep the gap even. So we're gonna just tighten these up and keep this cap even. Try to make it easy for you to see. All right, a little bit more. All right, sweet. All right, we got that done. It looks a little dark. Let's see if we can brighten it up. All right, cool. All right, next we got to put on this front wheel. Actually on the lever too. Let's move the lever since we're already here. So the lever's pretty far down. See how it's slanted? It's down. It's probably to save some room in the box. We're gonna loosen it up with this 5mm. We're gonna angle it up a little bit like so, and then retighten it up, and then you're good to go. If you're wondering if these bikes come with the brakes on the right, they do. These are the US bikes, so the brake lever is on the right. Going to this front axle. This front axle, show you. So it has this little nut on here. I think it's a 13. You could use a 13, or you could put a wrench like this on it. And they're just barely on there, so you can just pop it. And then on the other side, you can do the same thing. And then this axle will slide right out. Got your axle. Throw that away or put it aside or save it, whatever you want to do with it. Then you're going to grab your front wheel. Back these all the way out. I'm going to stick it in here. Loosen quite a bit. And then you're going to take this washer and you're going to slide it inside this little hole right there. And then you're going to tighten this bolt up a little bit more. And then either with the adjustable wrench or a 15 millimeter open end wrench or a socket closed end, you can tighten up this axle nut and tighten the front wheel. So we're just gonna go slow. It's kind of snug. We're gonna go to the other side, tighten up the other side. And we're gonna come back, hit this side again. Tighten down good, and then come back on this side, give it a little more wrenching. Make sure the front wheel's straight. Later on I'll show you how to straighten the wheel as well. Next, you're just gonna aim it kind of close, but at the end I'm gonna show you how to line up your front wheel and everything. But next we're going to the crank arms and the pedals and put the pedals on. So let's see if I can turn it over here. All right, here we go. There. All right. So now we're taking off the packaging off the cranks. That off. We're gonna leave this right here, but we got the pedals off. Now we gotta find the pedals. Oh, actually, before we do that, actually, I'll wait for that. I'll show you that at the end. I always forget about that thing, but there's a box. You're gonna wanna open this box up. We got some little parts in here. Definitely gonna have to save this. They got some front brakes. You guys aren't probably using the front brakes. You just kind of throw it in here for the law, because you have to have front brakes by law, I guess, in Europe if it's a street bike. This is. What this stuff is. I think that was for the, and then we got the owner's manual as well. So I think that other thing was for the chain guard. All right, so we got everything that we need. Mainly these pedals. So we're gonna cut this thing to open. Boom. All right, so you got two pedals, one with lines, one without lines. The one with lines is the left side. The one without lines, smooth, is the right side. A lot of them have them marked up here, so you'll see R and you'll see L. What you need to do is put a little bit of grease on it. So you're gonna put, let's say, a little dab like that. You're gonna take that dab and you're gonna rub them together, get the grease around. You don't have to get it perfect, just get it on there, because when you put it in there, it'll spread it everywhere. Start with this right side. And the right side is gonna be regular thread. If you heard, oh, something's reverse thread on your cranks and blah, blah, blah. Yes, there is. The right side is the correct side, is always regular thread. And then on the left side, it is gonna be opposite thread. So we're gonna be spinning this counterclockwise if you're looking at it from the other side. To go in there. All right, so once we got them in there, you're gonna take your pedal wrench and you're gonna keep it against the pedal side, and then you're just gonna back pedal and keep that wrench away from your crank arm so it doesn't scratch it. Go slow, take your time. You might need to turn the wrench around to get a little bit more torque, but boom. Got that one tight. Now we're gonna do the other one. So we're gonna still back pedal, and it's gonna spin it counterclockwise, and it's gonna tighten up the left side. Boom, got the side. Nice, nice, nice. Alrighty then. Taking off the chain now. So we got the chain. We're gonna bring the chain on the bottom, slide it down here to the end. Don't let it just drop. Help it go to the bottom, or else it might chip your paint or scratch it. Alright, last packaging. This one's really dirty right here. You might want to wipe it down a little bit. Alright, so now you got your chain. Your chain's all messed up. If it gets like this, where it has a double loop and it kind of acts like a dick and won't come out. Never had your chain do this. A lot of people struggle with this. It's very, very simple. Your chain just needs to literally go towards each other. So it goes this way and boom, it's open. So maybe I'll come with a trick to fix that, but it's really simple. I don't know how people just keep doing the same thing, but it does happen. Going to the back wheel, we got the back wheel here. We can loosen up these bolts here. Let me see, I don't know if this is close enough. So we can loosen up these bolts here. We can't slide it in because there's a piece right here. You got to pull this out before you try to put the back wheel, and it's keeping the brake pads open. Don't pull the lever when this thing is out of there, or the wheel's out of there, or the rotor's out of there, because these pads will squish in, and then you'll need to get another spreader like this, or a screwdriver could spread them back open for you, and then you could put the wheel in. But if those things compress, it's gonna block the rotor and not let it go back in. So keep that in mind. Also too, if you are putting on pegs, this would be the time to install your pegs. They have this pretty cool setup, and they designed it to run with your pegs. So they have this bolt here, they have this nut here, and it's a, let me see if I can show you. It's probably messing with fire right now because I'm pulling this off. Shoot, where it was. There we go. All right, so you come back here, see how it's recessed right here. When you put this bolt in there, it sits super flush. You're able to run a peg now. So show you, see if you can see. Yep. So you can run this through here, run your peg, then put this nut on there, use a socket extension to install it, and that will keep your peg off your axle and your axles from bending. Here's another cool thing that it also comes with, is it comes with this bad boy. This thing is pretty dope because if you look at here, this has a dropout. This is a single speed dropout. And then if you look at this, this is the gear dropout. So if you ever want to put gears on this bike, you install this. You can install your derailleur, all your cables, the shifter, and now you can put gears on here. If you put a cassette on here, 10-speed cassette, and you can make it a thrust. So, that's pretty sick that they do that. But we're gonna run on single speed. I'm gonna show you how to do that. So now we got the chain wrapped around. We're gonna ease this up. You're gonna put the washer on the outside, then the nut on the outside on both sides. Do not touch this brake rotor with your hands. You do not want to contaminate it. Even the oil on your hands can mess up your pads and prevent it from stopping well. So you're gonna put the chain on the back, and then on the front we're gonna put the chain on the in between the frame and the sprocket, and then put the chain on from the back side. That will keep it from scratching the front of your sprocket and being noticeable. If it does scratch the back side of your sprocket, it's a lot more hidden and people won't see the scratch that you created when you did that. So yeah, okay, so now you have your wheel in there, you got the chain on, you got your axle nuts kind of close to tight. Now you're ready to actually tighten this wheel up and start rolling. All right, so we're gonna pull the wheel back. This one kind of spins, so we're gonna hold both the axle nuts and rotate it. Make sure the chain is relatively tight, and then you could take a 15mm wrench and just barely snug it. See how the chain's a little bit loose? I'm gonna tighten this other side, or maybe even pull it a little bit. And then I'm gonna tighten this other side. But notice how it's still a little bit loose. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna break it free now. So now that the other side's secure, this one's loose, now I can push the rim to the side. And then now I can take my wrench and wrench it again. Now I can tighten it down really tight because the other side's tight. And now look at that chain. That chain's super tight. And if you want to go further, usually there's a tight loose spot, so it feels a little bit looser here. I could even loosen this up and then tighten it there, and then that will make the chain even tighter. But before I do that, I'm gonna go back here. I'm gonna loosen up the other side, and then I'm gonna look at the wheel and try to make it go into the center. If you're having trouble centering your wheel, you could put some air in it, and it'll make it round and help you out so that you can eyeball it and get it in the center. Once you got it in the center, spin your wheel. You can come up here, you can hit the brakes. You're gonna start to feel the brakes starting to adjust and be able to work. Okay, now you're gonna spin the back wheel. If you have problems with the rotor hitting, there's a couple different ways that you can do this. One of the ways you can do this is you can loosen up these bolts like so, and then physically with your hand you can move these brake pads or the caliper over like so. Loosen up, so yeah, this one's doing the whole rocking thing, so we ain't playing that. We got that. You're gonna snug it down just a hair and then rock back and forth. Boom. Now you straighten it. Now it's not hitting. Your wheel rolls really nice. You hit the brakes, they stop good. Should be good. Alright, so we got the wheel on, we got the brakes adjusted, we got the chain tight, we got the pedals on there. We have a couple things we need to do. Is one, we need to air up the tires. Unfortunately, we've been doing videos, and I came in today, an employee mentioned that the air compressor wasn't turning on yesterday, so I came in here not thinking of anything of it. Long story short, I just checked it out, and I'm not sure if our compressor took a dump. It's pretty nice, pretty brand new. It's probably only a couple years old, but it's not working. On and off switch not working. It's plugged in and everything. So right now I can pump these up with a floor pump, but I'm not going to do that. Just use your imagination. Imagine we put air in it. These have air. I'll probably do that in a little bit, but it takes a long time to pump these up, so I'm not gonna make you guys have to deal with that. So we're just gonna jump to the next step, and I'm gonna show you a couple little things to kind of tune this up and get it right at the perfect spot that you need. Okay, so first off, if your front wheel isn't straight, what you can do is loosen up both your axle nuts, put weight over the handlebars, maybe put your chest on the handlebars or get one of your friends to push down, and then while they're pushing down, slowly tighten the axle nuts on each side to keep it straight, and then tighten it up till it's tight to keep that wheel straight. But next is gonna be aligning your handlebars and your front wheel. Let me check this out, make sure that you guys can see before I record this. And you guys can see. So I'm gonna back it up a little bit. It's hard to tell. I'll grab this chair real quick, lean up against there. Perfect. Yeah, there you go. You kind of tell the tire's a little bit off, so it's gonna throw your view off. But I'm gonna align it to the forks and get this bad boy going. So we're gonna tighten it at these sides just enough where they're touching. They're not doing anything yet. They're just kind of close. And then next what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn this, and you could either align it with the front tire or use these two bars here and look down and the forks here, and you could kind of line it up and make it straight. If your headset's loose like so, you can tighten up this bolt. And when I say tighten, you're just twisting it a little bit where you feel it touch, and then you can kind of feel it pulling everything together. This bolt is a compression bolt, so it just pulls stuff together. It's never gonna stop tightening down. So if it does, that's bad news. So just just tighten it up a little bit to pull everything together, and then you could use these two side bolts to hold the stem onto the forks, and it's not going to come loose and it's not going to go down. It's just going to stay right there in the same spot and be smooth, allow you to do bar spins or anything like that you need to do. So go ahead and tighten up the other side right here. We're going to tighten up the other side on this one right there. We're going to put this little cap on the back. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Everything's good. Like I said, make sure you grease your seat posts. If you need one of these FTGs by Mafia Bikes, head over to stackbmx.com, pick yourself up one, and maybe tomorrow you can unbox your own Mafia FTG bike. But that's how we unbox this Mafia FTG. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Peace out.